Hello folks, welcome to the wrap-up show here on the Williams & Source. We just witnessed one of the most incredible finishes of the season. It's not really a good adjective to describe what we just saw. It was amazing to see a team down 42-14, under 12 minutes to play, and pull off one of the better comebacks that the TSAA has ever seen in a game on the road especially. We'll get to those highlights. First, our game of the week was the Franklin Rebels hosting Lincoln County. We'll get to those highlights in just a moment, but first we want to talk about our athletes of the week, and we were just talking about Franklin, and that's the defensive back Matt Gonzalez. He was our athlete of the week, and really, like we said, it could go to the entire Rebel defense last week, and they held Shelbyville Central to just one touchdown until late in the fourth quarter when they allowed a second. It was his pick six that put Franklin ahead, so he's our athlete of the week on the male side. And then for the female side of our athlete of the week, Angelina Chan is the FRA golfer, shooting incredibly well for FRA, 36 and I believe 33 in the last two matches that we were able to see. So congratulations, both of them. We have so many highlights to get to, so many good games, especially the one that took place right here at Independence between the Blackman Blaze and Independence Eagles. We'll get to those in just a moment after this.
I'm a lot more productive lately. You know, thinking big picture and coming up with new products like my 3 cheese and ham grilled sandwich. It's got a creamy tomato sauce, 3 kinds of real melting cheese, and thinly sliced ham on my grilled to perfection artisan bread. All because I got this robot handling the day-to-day stuff, which is super helpful. I wanted the corner piece. There's still a few bugs.
Well, we have games that finished on the last play. Our game of the week wasn't exactly the case. We'll get to those highlights at Franklin as they hosted Lincoln County. Well, homecoming will bring out a strong crowd no matter where you are, and especially at Franklin High School, where they pack the place no matter who the opponent, no matter what the occasion. This place was charged up, and on the first drive, you see Malik Grimes taking this one inside the 5-yard line. And then about a play later, Malik Grimes finishing it off. Touchdown Rebels. They lead it 7-0 right out of the gate. Next possession. The other running back will get in on the action. That's Bryce Meelam. Again, the Rebels in the red zone. Meelam finishes off the drive. It's 14-0. Franklin. And like I said, this crowd into it. The tomahawk chop. That's intimidating. This is high school. That's got to make players intimidated, nervous, and the Franklin defense doing that as well. Making their opponents. I mean, this is why I said that they deserve the athlete of the week. Just the whole defense. You see them come up with a stop again. On third down, they get the ball back. Joe Critchlow going to the air. And he's got his man for the touchdown. That's Harrison Matthews. Touchdown Franklin. They lead it 28-0 at that point. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the defense once again. Lincoln County trying to make something happen, going for it on fourth down and not getting it. They weren't moving the ball against this Franklin team. That's a very happy on the sideline. His Rebels rolled a victory in week 5. So that's 2 back-to-back wins for the Rebels after falling to McGavock a couple weeks ago. The Rebels looking very good. Of course, defense is what stands out to me the most with this Franklin Rebel team. But when you put up 42 points, you have to talk about their offense too. And 2 guys at running back that have been tough, Malik Grimes, Bryce Meelam, and we talked about Joe Critchlow and Parker Pinnell, what they're able to do on the offensive end, and the line that's able to block for them and create those gaps so that the running backs can make those plays. So Franklin, 42-7. They're still with just 1 loss on the season, and we'll go ahead and get to it. It was basically the finish of the night, one of the best finishes that we've seen this year. And I felt like we've been saying that the last couple weeks. It's another thing we keep saying. It's the best finish, and it just keeps getting topped. This one was wild. We'll pick it up right at the start of the third quarter. It's Independence hosting Blackman. And the students witnessing their team on the verge of a shocking upset. They lead it 28-14 in the third. And Dom Childress with a big run the #1 team in the state, Blackman, on the verge of being upset on the road to Independence. I think a lot of people thought Independence would bounce back after last week's performance when they had some chances but just couldn't finish against Ravenwood. And right there, Andrew Bunch finding Nate Johnson for his 2nd touchdown of the day. #2. Very fun to watch. That kid's going to be playing on Saturdays. Too much talent not to. And then, well, 4th quarter. 35-14 is the lead, and it's Nate Johnson again to the right side, beating several defenders, taking it in for the touchdown. It's 42-14, and we're in the 4th quarter. We're under 12 to play. It's all Independence. All Independence. It would take nearly a miracle. As you see Washington, that's his 3rd touchdown. He finished with 262 yards receiving and 3 TDs. And the flag crew having to do 42 push-ups. I wonder if they expected that.
Did you expect tonight that you'd have to do 42 push-ups?
Yes, I did, because I don't doubt our team. I know what we deliver. I know Ben Beavers. Shout out to Ben Beavers for that forced fumble. I know what we got to offer. We're the best team in the state. Guaranteed! Let's go!
And literally right in the middle of that speech, if you will, Juwan Jennings with a big touchdown pass, immediately getting the game back to within 21, but still 42-21. We're in the 4th quarter. Independence still has it, right? And everything seems to be going their way. Here's a 3rd down pass, deflected, and it bounces right into the hands of his receiver for a 1st down. And the drive continues. Now they would go for it on 4th down instead of trying a 32-yard field goal. It'd be batted down, and Independence turns it over on downs. Blackman with the ball back. Here's Juwan Jennings showing what he can do on the ground. Getting deep into Independence territory. They would score on that drive, and then once again, Independence at the 30-yard line. Going for it on 4th down, they don't get it, and once more, they put the ball in Blackman's hands. Now down just 42-28. Deep pass over the middle. Juwan Jennings finds his man for a big gain. Blackman moving the ball at an incredible rate. And now Jennings again running to his left. He's so smooth, it's effortless. All of a sudden he's at the 1st down marker and he's got another 1st down. Clock stops to move the chains. And then Jennings puts it in the end zone. It's 42-35. All of a sudden we got a ball game. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to play. One more 3 and out, and Blackman's going to have a realistic chance of tying this game. They were down 42-14 just moments ago. And Juwan Jennings, he plays both sides of the ball. And he just levels Seth Hooner. And now all momentum on Blackman's side. Independence just trying to hang on, wanting that clock to wind down. But Juwan Jennings again, this is the Juwan Jennings show on Friday night. All in the 4th quarter. Jennings to the air. Hits his player down to the 1-yard line. They are 1 yard away from setting up a chance to tie with an extra point. And can you believe it? It was 42-14. It's now 42-41. They're an extra point away from sending it to overtime. Just under a minute to play, and the coaching staff say, let's go for 2. You can see him saying, let's go for 2. Why not? You got a guy like Jennings who's been doing what he's been doing all in the 4th quarter, and he gets into the end zone. That's a 2-point conversion, much to the disapproval of the Independence players. They thought the ball had popped loose, thought they had recovered a fumble. A gutsy call for Blackman to go for it, to go for 2. We'll watch it one more time. It's really too close to call from this angle. The side judge would have a much better view of it, and he said the ball crossed the plane. 2 points to Independence. They lead at 43-42. Final chance on 4th and 1 for Independence. Over the middle. Incomplete. Blackman stunning the home crowd. Unbelievable. Here's what Nate Johnson had a terrific game had to say.
We should have stay consistent. We came out first half, we knew we were doing great, we knew we had it. But we came out second half, I think we came out just a little bit too cocky, and I think that's what resulted in what just happened.
Is there some confidence built up though, knowing that you guys were one stop away from beating the #1 team and putting 42 points up on the board against them?
Oh, definitely. I feel like we did a great job doing that. Our offense executed all around, both sides of the ball actually, defense and offense. We got them off the field and got our offense on the field, and we did great. I think we did great.
What happened?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We had them on the ropes, and there's a reason why they're one of the top-ranked teams in 6A and a nationally ranked team. They're not going to go quietly. They did a great job. Credit to their kids and their coaching staff and putting together some series of drives there, culminating in 43 points. But I'm proud of our kids. I'm proud of my coaches, and I'm proud of the way our kids and our team performed tonight against a team physically overmatched, and I thought our kids played hard.
So Blackman down 42-14 with under 12 minutes to play, come all the way back and win it 43-42. Incredible ending for Independence. It does show what their offense is capable of doing. We said they have plenty of weapons, from Seth Hooner to Andrew Punch at quarterback, Dom Childress, Nate Johnson, and most of these guys are juniors. I believe the only senior, Dom Childress, is the only one that won't be back next season. And these guys are just filled with talent. I mean, no reason to talk about next year. They could obviously still win District 11. Last week, it was a tough loss to Ravenwood, a game you felt like they had some chances to win. This one, although it's not a district game, just stings a little more, as Independence really felt like they were about to shock the state tonight with an upset win over Blackman, but it just wasn't in the cards. It shows why Blackman is the best team in the state. In their division, a team to come back from down that much in the fourth quarter and to score that many points so quickly. It shows when you got a guy like Juwan Jennings who can play both sides of the ball and still deliver the finishing blow. You got a good guy, you got a really good athletic player in Juwan Jennings, and you got a really good football team, and that's Blackman. So on to some other highlights. BGA also in a close game. Let's go ahead and head out to see what the Wildcats were doing in their game against PJP2. So BGA, Pope John Paul II, we'll skip all the way to the fourth quarter. PJP2 leads 22-14, and there's Ronald Cleveland. He's used to scoring touchdowns. That's a 20-yard touchdown run on the pass from Clayton Beathard. And BGA going for two to try to tie the game here in the fourth. Two-point conversion would tie it, and it's overthrown, incomplete, so it stays 22-20. But BGA with the ball back. And again, it's Clay Beathard to Ronald Cleveland with 5:50 left to play. That's a 30-yard pass. A three-play drive. It's now 26-22 BGA. And the defense would come up big for the Wildcats. Last chance, fourth down for Pope John Paul II. Look at the pressure on the quarterback, and Marcus Cawthorn able to knock the pass away. BGA comes from behind in the fourth quarter to get the win. They still only have one loss on the season. The fans would storm onto the field after the dramatic win. Good home victory for BGA. So a big win for BGA. That makes it a few wins since that loss against Father Ryan. That seems way back early in the season. The Battleground Academy holding on in this one, 26-22. And we're going to get to some other scores from around Williamson County and games that took place outside the county that we didn't get to, starting with Oakland and Brentwood. Oakland poured it on the Bruins 49-7 in that contest. And then Centennial away at Mount Juliet scored 39, held Mount Juliet to 10. They get the 29-point win. Nick Madonia kicked a 42-yard field goal. They got Centennial up 3-0. And then the person people are going to be talking about, of course, is Deion Sanders. He had a 49-yard touchdown run that put Centennial up 17-0. And he did a lot more damage than that. We'll get his full stats later on. And Fairview beats East Sigmund 21-7. They got their quarterback Hunter Zimmerman back, and they get the win on the road. And they're back to 500 at 3-3. Friendship Christian took down FRA 34-20 as the Panthers were coming off a big win over Davidson Academy. Fell tonight by 2 touchdowns, 34-20 to Friendship Christian. When we come back, we have more highlights to get to here on the Williams Source Wrap-Up Show. Stay tuned.
Attention Monster Taco fans! Get ready for a night of Monster Taco madness! With 2 new Monster Taco flavors from Jack in the Box, face off! Introducing the Bacon Ranch Monster Taco, crushing it with strips of bacon and creamy ranch versus the Nacho Monster Taco, coming hard with nacho cheese and jalapenos! Monster, Monster, Monster Tacos! Too much?
Needs an explosion.
So John Overton had played a District 11 opponent earlier this year when they played Centennial, and the Cougars were able to win 28-21. And like we've said all season, Centennial's got a really good football team. So we assumed this would be quite the challenge for the Ravenwood Raptors as they hosted their second game of the season. This time it was John Overton coming in to play the Raptors. Well, we expected it to be close. That might be a little foreshadowing. But this is the opening drive for Ravenwood. Again, Seth Rowland. I believe the last time they had a home game, Rowland scored on the opening drive. He does so here again with 7:24 remaining. An 11-yard touchdown run for number 24. They would miss the extra point, so they lead at 6-0. Then with 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter, on a punt return, Hugo Amidi for Overton takes it 61 yards for the score. They would make their extra point, so they lead 7-6. Now on the ensuing Ravenwood possession, quarterback Cole Brown inside the 5-yard line is going to take it in for the touchdown, battling through some defenders. That's giving Ravenwood a 13-7 lead with 9:48 left on the clock. And then how about Seth Rowland going 34 yards for the score? That was the second touchdown in 15 seconds for Ravenwood to take the lead 30-7. They win at 44-13, and Rowland's third touchdown of the game. And again, Ravenwood, another dominant performance, and this time putting up more points. Coach talked about it last week. Coach Hester said they need to finish drives. They did that tonight, scoring plenty of points. At one point, in the start of the second half, it was 16-7. You thought this game would go down to the wire. The next thing you know, it's 30-7, and the game's pretty much put out of reach. So Ravenwood with a solid win. They are undefeated. As we mentioned earlier, Centennial is undefeated. Those two teams will meet up next week. That's going to be a showdown between two undefeated District 11 teams. Someone's got to give. So we'll see what happens next week. And that'll probably be our game of the week. Just a little foreshadowing for the future. Another team playing in the Brentwood area, Brentwood Academy hosting Science Hill. That was another good game. Our own Rob Sykes was there. He has highlights. Let's get to those right now. Brentwood Academy hosting Science Hill. And how about Jeremiah Oatsville? Really, how about Cameron Johnson? This guy is going to get some serious college looks. He seems to score a touchdown every time we cover Brentwood Academy. But Malik McHugh would answer. This is still the first quarter. Throwing a touchdown pass to tie the game at 7. And then McHugh again for Science Hill. This time looking for the lead. And taking it in for the touchdown. It's now 14-7. Science Hill on top. But shortly after that, Oatsville again looking deep downfield. He's got a man. Touchdown, Brentwood Academy. Cortrell Pilar. It's 14-14. Eagles tie things up in the first half. Lots of scoring in this game on Friday. After Science Hill retook the lead, Brentwood Academy responded, and then Oatsville going 33 yards on the scamper. He went actually all the way back to the 40 before taking off. And he's going into the end zone. Touchdown, BA. They took a 24-21 lead. Despite it all, Brentwood Academy would get a very close win, 45-42. Now to some other scores going around the county. This one was a shocker. We talked about McCallie, how they were able to end Bowling Green, Kentucky's 48-game win streak last week, but it took an 80-yard drive to do that. They beat Ensworth 55-27 tonight. An impressive win from the Blue Tornadoes, 55-27. Ensworth, the #1 team in the state, undoubtedly by most people. That's a tough loss. We go to Father Ryan Stratford. Father Ryan with that win, easy 35-0, as we sort of expected the Fighting Irish to do. Now about the Page Patriots on the road at Forest. They actually tied the game with 2:53 left in the fourth quarter, tied at 16, had a chance to win it with a field goal. It was no good. The game went into overtime where Page scored first. Forest got the ball second. They scored on their first play, decided to go for two, but the Patriots stopped them. They win it 23-22, a huge win for Page. So that will conclude our Williamson Source wrap-up show here on location at Independence High School, where it was one of the best comebacks you'll ever see in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, Independence on the wrong side of it as they fall 43-42 to Blackman. It wasn't our game of the week. Our game of the week was Franklin and their homecoming with the tradition the Rebels have. But, wow, they really put it on Lincoln County tonight. So the game we're all going to be talking about is probably this one. We're talking about that one all week. It was an incredible finish, and Independence was one play shy of taking down the #1 team in the state. So remember, on Monday we have Sports Source. That's more highlights. We got highlights from the games taking place outside of Williamson County, and then of course on Thursday it's our preview show. We're going to preview all the games that are going on, maybe a little bit differently this time. We'll see what you guys think. So for Jack in the Box and 104.5, I'd like to thank them as well. This has been the Jack in the Box wrap-up show. We'll see you on Monday. Stay tuned.